Come on. Come on.
Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video. I am out to finish off the 10k. It's chilly, as you can see. Apologies if the lighting is not great, boys, but nice time to come and chat. All work is done for the day, so we'll start the vid off getting the steps boxed. And then we're in for pull in the morning, so I'll take you along with that. Talk a little bit how I've brought some weak points up as well. And I wanted to start with, boys, it popped up 5 years ago today. I put on my story that I had one PT slot on a Thursday evening at 7, and I remember putting that on. That's 5 years ago today, so in Feb, and I was struggling big time from a business standpoint, like massively. And I put on my story about it because I never ever sit and like think about what I'm doing or look back at what I've done, like growing the team, building a team of coaches now, the shoot, like anything. And I was sat there yesterday like, I remember that. I remember putting that story on, and I just remember it wasn't great. It was not great. And then literally shortly after that, the gym closed down in lockdown. So from then, that's when online had to be the way. The one thing I want to say with that, like, that's graft. That is no shortcuts. That is no secrets. That is investing thousands of hours, thousands of pounds into that, because I didn't get into PTing. I didn't want to PT for, like people probably do nowadays, for money or to work your own hours or whatever it was. I remember people telling me, "Ooh, you don't make much money, you know, being a PT, or it's not a good, you know, business to go down." I didn't care about that. I wanted to do it when I was 17, going into the second year of college. And like, honestly, I didn't try that second year of college because I told my mum, told Lucy, I was with Lucy then at that time still, I was like, I'm doing my PT course as soon as I'm 18, and I'm doing it, like, the first 4 years. So if that's you right now, trust me, first 4 years, you can do a lot better than I did. I was terrible at business and advertising and all of that. So to actually get my head down and do what I've always wanted to do, is just pretty wild. And then to have the plans we've got now, have the house I've got now, to be able to go where I can go, like, just mad. Like, I actually looked at that, it was the story, I was like, I'd have been so happy. Like, I would have I have to make sure I took literally 10 seconds, because if I could cut forward, I'd have been so buzzing, like absolutely buzzing. So yeah, that was the way I wanted to start this this vid, because it's still fresh in the mind and just crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's graft. Don't think, you know, you see anyone, boys, there, you know, I looked at loads of people where I wanted to be, doing what I wanted to do. I was like, how? And I was lazy, I was unorganised. Now, if you know me, you're a client of mine, if you watched enough vids, you'll know if there's one thing I do, it's graft, right? So it doesn't matter about your genetics, it doesn't matter if you've got this or that, or this person, oh, they're just in shape, they don't even train properly, anything like that. I used to moan about all these things. Head down and graft, and that's it, boys, legit. I tell you what, hands getting a bit chilly. So, little update on me, boys. 88 kilo, locking them in. Spoke to Ben. We're still happy with the plan of pushing for another 8 weeks or so, probably solidifying then around those 90s, and then we'll look to pull down and get absolutely peeled. What that is for, we'll have to stay tuned, potentially. If you want to take a guess what the potential is, hit the comments. Let's hear it, boys, let's hear it. But we'll get back to Lucy, and we've got Bobby at ours as well. So I'll go jump on the little man. Then we're going to get up early to the gym for a monster pull sesh, which I'm looking forward to. I do like my Saturday morning pull. And last one when I'm out here, the Wednesday videos have been received very well. I'll go through a little bit of what I think is wrong with the fitness industry on the way to the gym tomorrow, and I'll walk you through that. But basically, I want that to be just value. We're not talking about anyone else. We're not talking bad about them or rate or whatever it is. Talking about actual value and how to get in shape. So any topics, make sure you let me know you want to dive into, because I learned so much from YouTube. People who didn't have this massive following when I was coming up in coaching and my training. And yeah, I learned a lot. Plenty coming. Make sure you subbed. Again, apologies for the lighting, boys, if it's not great, but you're coming with me. You're coming with me on whatever we're doing, and right now we're getting the steps boxed off. I'll see you in the morning. Let's get a big sleep. No strip on. See you bright and early, boys. Good morning, fellas. Got to be a little bit quiet. Start with the removal of the no strip. If you don't know, get to know me. And we never, ever, ever train early without being hydrated, because if you do, you'll feel terrible. So, still on gummy worms, hydrate, electrolytes, perform, get on them. Elite. Anything perform, Luke 25, save you. Let me know if you use it as well, always. Only problem is, just brush my teeth, boys. So we got gummy worms and toothpaste, I think, today. Cheers, boys. Wouldn't recommend my toothpaste, but it's alright. It's weird, it's getting light as well. It's what, 7:30 now. There's a bit of frost, but it's lighting up, boys. Which, I don't mind for what I'm doing now, but in the week, call me crazy, I actually don't mind it being dark, because I just get up, crack straight on my work, before everyone else is even thinking about getting up, which I've always liked doing. Make the oats, smash brie. We'll see you on the way, folks. It's a lovely day, boys. It really, really is. We're about 10 away from the gymnasium. I was just about to say it's a nice quiet drive, and I've just had to stop and wait for cars. Still relatively early. It's 8 AM. So we're in for pull. We'll show you a few bits of that I'm going to talk about. Just bringing up weak body parts, if you do have that. Something I've gone through a lot with the guys this week, and showed as many examples as kind of what I've changed with my training and the things that we want to focus on. So if there is anything that's just lagging there, you want to bring it up, that's what we're going to go through today. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about what I touched on last night in terms of just why I want a big push with YouTube. And that's because like I said there, I learned so much from YouTube, right? Like I learned loads from YouTube. Yes, a lot of the things when I was starting training were absolutely terrible. Like some of the things I did, I would definitely not recommend doing, and that was not a good side of YouTube, just in terms of the training, and oh god, just some terrible stuff. That's not even, I don't even think people know those people exist anymore. Your Mike Rashids, your people like that. That was a wild time, but there was just a lot of value on there though. Just super simple videos with value, and I feel like now the biggest people are just like either doing stupid things like calorie challenges, whatever it is, like this challenge, that challenge, or they're just like talking about other people, rating people's physiques, talking about this, talking about that. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of YouTube is. That's why the reason I know this is because I love YouTube. I always eat and watch YouTube, like I'll show you on this channel. But when it comes to watching, I'm like, I don't know about you boys, but I don't find like there's much to watch anymore. For me anyway, there's not much that I'm interested in at all anymore. So I was like, right, do you know what? I ain't doing any weird stuff. I'm gonna bring value. I'm gonna bring you along with obviously everything I'm doing, and keep on pushing that massively this year. So that's the goal. And if you're here, make sure you subs to stick around, because we've got a hell of a lot coming. But yeah, like just people, just talking about other people, and oh god, it does my head in. I've got zero interest in that any way, shape or form. Like, I do not care. Yeah, that does my head in a little bit, and I feel like in the fitness industry nowadays, that's kind of ruining it slightly, I must say. So we're just about a nice bit of progress, getting the pre down on a Saturday morning, getting in there and pulling some heavy stuff. So I'll show you a few bits from pull. You've seen this session not long ago, so we won't dive into it too deep, but I'll have a chat with you about bringing up them weak body parts, because that is something that's very important. And I was in here last Saturday with Cody, and what we did for the Coaching Coliseum was refilm our exercise library. So we filmed for probably about like 6 hours. We literally filmed, say, 90% of the movements that we need, so then we just need to pick up a couple of more. But in terms of what we could have done in one day, we couldn't have done much more in one day. So I'm actually in just to train now, because like it's 8 o'clock now in the morning. Last week I trained, I think we finished around close to 8 o'clock at night. So it was a long old day, but enjoyable one. And next week we're off to Scotland with the fellas for a big Coaching Coliseum team meetup, which very much looking forward to. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. So abs in first, boys. Get them absolutely nailed. No slacking with those. My abs, I was saying this to the team yesterday, I can tell my abs are definitely a lot more developed. Yes, we're softer now, but definitely more developed, which is good. So I'm excited for that. When we get leaner, just been nailing them non-stop. So lats, and I just want you to look at one thing here with lats towards the end. So a lot of people will start to cut range at the top. They'll start to internally rotate with their shoulder. So when they get towards the bottom, they'll just either get a load of elbow flexion and just use their biceps, or they'll internally rotate and just kind of let their shoulder come forward and start moving like towards the handle to finish the rep, which we don't want to do. We want to get our lat short, right? So I want you to watch me with how stable everything else stays, and then how patient I'll be to try to get those last reps, because the reason we've got this in first, so we can get that lat short with fresh, right? So I need to be patient on these last ones now to get those in, get them lat short, and then that's going to help me massively. And we've got 2 sets of these, and then we'll do the same thing but with the row for lats. Right, boys, as you can see, these are getting heavy now. We're 2 off the stack. We're still rolling with them and progressing them, but stabilizing, as you'll see with this, is very difficult. But I feel like we can lock in enough to get the stack, because I can keep these all lats. We've still got a nice little pause in the stretch, nice little pause in the contraction, but stability now with these is probably the hardest bit. But thinking about keeping that elbow low, it's only a short range into that stretch nicely, just where we feel like lat contract, and then we're back out, staying nice and composed. So yeah, we'll chase the stack down in the next few weeks on these. Well, that's wrapped up, and then we're on to the mid to upper back work, fellas. So upper back pull down. This one again is getting heavy, so it's not been feeling as smooth just with the machine. I don't think it's the smoothest of machines in the world, just with how old it is now, this particular one. So we'll stick with for now. We'll get these nailed. We're thinking about contraction, stretching everything out, and then really driving back. And then when we move on to me and Cody have named this one the rug, right? The rug. It's a row and a shrug, so we're calling it the rug. So basically what we're doing is we're full scapular movement, right? So letting them shoulders come down, really lengthening everything, and then retracting, and we're shrugging up as we kind of row through like a little half row. So we call these ones the rugs, and we were sore from the rugs last week. So now you know what the rug is. We are trademarking that as our movement. It's a rug. So if you want a big upper back, make sure you're nailing your rugs, boys. Cody, shout out. Geniuses, mate. Geniuses. And if you join Coaching Coliseum team, you get coached by us. That's where you get programmed the rugs, mate. Got all the secrets. Right, boys, so on to buys. 3 sets of these, and I'm going to talk you through weak points a little bit, right? So for me, arms, chest, this gaining phase, and delts as well a little bit. That top line really, but in specifically, I feel like my delts and my arms are needed to come up. So for arms now, and this is the thing, like, what you don't need is just loads more volume, right? Because chances are that's not going to progress. So what you need to do is make sure that the work you're doing is progressing and it's accurate. That's the absolute number one thing. Make sure other body parts aren't taking over. Like, say if your shoulders are very dominant, and then in your presses you're rolling forwards, or your triceps are very dominant, and in your presses you're very tricep dominant. Like, make sure you look at those things, and make sure you look at just standardizing. This is why I wanted to go through this today, because yesterday I re-standardised the curls after this, which you'll show with the dumbbell, because I was just swinging them up a little bit and they were just stalling, and in the past I'd have just tried to bully my way through, whereas now I'll reset, I'll re-standardise. Biceps need to grow, so I think you need more stimulus, right? That is what you need. So can we improve form? Can we get more control? And then from an intensity standpoint, can we really stay composed and take it there? So that's what I'm thinking now, as much stimulus as I possibly can. And reset that now when you watch this for any muscle group that's lagging. Strip the load down a little bit, control the eccentrics, keep that tension on there. Let's sit right into that stretch, rinse that. Let's drive through with that intended muscle, right? Don't just move the dumbbell or the machine. Think about driving through with biceps. Think about pressing through with your chest, whatever it may be, right? Re-standardize. When you need it, full stretch, control. That is how you will bring up those weaker body parts, because if you've not been doing that, that's why they're weak, right? You probably don't connect with them. You probably just don't get on with them. So reset, hit that reset button, and then full send, which is what I've done with these curls there. And that, boys, I promise you, will make a massive, massive, massive difference. Look at the work you're doing and then add volume if you need to. Don't just add a ton of volume, train the same. Right, we're showered. We're ready for post-workout scram. But there's someone who's asleep, mate. Oh, no. What have I done to you, Bob? Sorry, mate. Let's get you wrapped up, lad. There you go. That's him. That's him sorted under there. Makes me laugh, mate. But food still at 3.8, boys. So we've got to get that in. New pans. The new pans are in. Are they clean? They're clean. Had them pans for a year, twice a day. Look like a bomb in it, which is good. Buying stuff like that is boring, isn't it? But it's got to be done, fellas. It's got to be done. But yeah, if you don't have to buy pans, just make the most of not having to buy pans. It's nice. You're never excited to buy a pan, are you? It's like, I mean, I make a lot of food and I like my food, but even me buying them pans yesterday, it's just never. It's never it, is it, man? It's never an exciting one, let's say. But we're gonna go and walk little man now and then chill. So thank you very much for joining me again, fellas. All info to everything always in the description. Interested in coaching? It's going to be a big year. Hit that link and I'll be in touch with you. Form code is there, socials are there. Make sure you're subbed if you are not. 2 videos a week incoming. Big one landing Wednesday as well. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.